I thought it's my job also to inform, and I want to talk about two issues here. The first one, I want us to be practical. We are all Africans, I know, and to feel guilty that we are dropping our culture and all that, but we have got to be practical and face realities. This issue of traditional medicine is not being ignored. In 2000, the AU declared a decade of traditional medicine in the whole of Africa. That during that decade, we will. You know very well that Zimbabwe was regarded as the first country that integrated traditional medicine into hospitals, etc. 10 years later, nothing has happened in that decade of traditional medicine. So in 2010, the World Health Organization African region, we met in Cote d'Ivoire to discuss this issue. Yes, he was an MEC, I took him there. I took 3 MECs, massive. This issue was discussed, and they said there are 3 problems with it in Africa, which we are not able to resolve as a continent. 3 things. Number 1, we are not able to determine who's the practitioner. Nobody has been able to define that. Who is the practitioner of this traditional medicine? Number 2, we are not able to determine the practice. What is it? Is it using roots from, yes. In other words, what do you use when you call it traditional medicine? What is the practice? What was the 3rd thing? There were 3. You were there, please, and you are younger, you can remember. It was the practice, the practitioner. Yes, to determine the practitioner. And then they called all these experts. Leave us alone. You can't, Now, if we have to say we are registering people, because even up to today, I still don't know when we are asking the ones who are in this group. They sue each other every day, they kick out each other, they write letters and say this one is not a traditional healer and all that. So I'm not talking ill of the system, I'm just saying it's complex. And we need to solve those complex things first before we can come and say this is our system. The other one I want to answer is about cervical cancer. Doc, I understand your emotions. It is true. It is true about the cervical cancer that some within 2 days and all that. I did not want to give names. If you move from here where we are, it's not very far. There is a private hospital there. It has got 57 gynecologists. 57 in that one private clinic. Why is it important for me to mention? Because the number of gynecologists in Mpumalanga, Limpopo, and Northwest added together, they don't amount to 57. So we are running a system where one clinic can have 57 specialists, when 3 provinces do not have them. So you'll never match them with that. But fortunately for cervical cancer, the World Health Organization has moved that we must not try to treat cervical cancer. We must remove it. We must bring it to an end. So just like in HIV/AIDS, they came with 95, 95, 95. The WHO came with 90, 70, 90. And we are about to launch it. It's going to be launched officially for countries which are participating, South Africa and Indonesia. We sponsored that resolution. What does 90, 70 means? The first 90 is that 90% of young girls at the age of 10 or so must be vaccinated. That's the way to fight cervical cancer. The manner in which that efficiency of doing a biopsy and all that, even if we reach that efficiency, we'll never deal with this problem. It's too big for that. They say start with vaccination. Fortunately, we've got an HPV vaccine. I don't know what percentage we are, but we have now reached 6 million young girls who have been vaccinated since 2014. That's the first 90. The second 90 is, not 90, 70, is that screen 70% of women. All of it, just ordinary screening. And they describe it there. And I'm confusing things, sorry. It's 90, 79. The first 90 is vaccine, right? The second one is screening, screen 70% of adult women. I don't know whether we'll reach there. Screen them and see if you have got cervical cancer or not. And the last 90, I mean the middle 70 is the treatment you are talking about. At least if you can treat 70% of women who are diagnosed to be having cervical cancer. If you combine this 90, 70, 90, they say we are likely to eliminate it. And that's the direction in which we are moving. Now that direction will be impossible if all the money is put in one side. Only the women in this 14% will get these things. The others won't get them. And we'll be back to square one. Thank you very much.